What is up, people? I'm Gliffy, and today I'm reviewing Beautiful Desolation, which, for the record, right off the bat, is a game that I absolutely loved. I loved it. It's up there with some of my favorite story-based single-player games ever. So the basic outline of this video is going to be, I'll talk a bit about the gameplay of it, because that's the main thing. I think that's going to divide people. The setting, the characters, and the story. So right off the bat, gameplay is point-and-click adventure style. You know, think Grim Fandango, think Broken Age, Deponia, Been There, Done That. You know, those kinds of somewhat old, well, it's an old school genre, but there's been a lot of good stuff come out in the genre in recent years. Broken Age, for example, was absolutely fantastic, and that's relatively recent. But yeah, so it consists of going around from place to place, talking to people, and collecting inventory items, then either combining those inventory items or using them in the correct, often very arbitrary kind of way. So the way that this one is done is really cool, because there's no quest log at all. So there's no place that you can go in and see like, oh yeah, so-and-so wanted that, so-and-so wanted that. You can go and review conversations, but you have so many conversations in the game, it's not useful as a quest log at all. Which is such a different thing. You never see that in games these days. And I must say, I absolutely loved it. I've seen a lot of reviewers say they didn't like that aspect and they wish they would add a quest log. But honestly, it just drew me into the world so much more and helped me kind of, you know, identify with the characters, just going around and thinking, where am I supposed to be? What is this thing? Everything is so alien, unexplained a lot of the time. And not having the quest log just really draws you into it. I mean, on the downside though, if you drop the game for literally 2 days, you come back and you're like, okay, what is this? What am I supposed to be doing? Also, if anyone can tell me what the simulacrum is for in the inventory, I have no idea. Again, this brings me back to my point that it draws you into the world by not explaining every small, tiny little detail. Yeah, so please, in the comments, what is the simulacrum? I have no idea. Okay, moving on to the setting. The setting is this kind of post-apocalyptic is not quite the right term, but post-world-changing event world where set in, you know, thousands of years in the future, some kind of alien technology has come to Earth and has transformed the way that people live their lives. Meaning that there are a ton of different religious sects and groups of people that all live their lives differently with this new technology. Almost all of them have, you know, modifications and are not fully human. Some are debatably not at all human. You know, there's talking plants, there's talking machines, there are people with skin off of their face as a aspect of beauty. There are these aliens that look a lot like the ones in Half-Life. I don't know if that was a nod to it, but anyway. All the worlds are just so beautifully drawn and put together. And on top of that, you also get these hand-drawn images that you collect throughout the story, which are really, really cool. It's just a kind of nice little peek into the creative process. And also fits with the story, you know, it's the main character going around and making sketches of the stuff that he sees. Every little detail is well put together, thought out, and also the world isn't too full. You know, you're not going to go to a place and pick up 5 items, and you get little cities and plenty of people to talk to and all that, but it's never busy with stuff to do in one area. And that's a good thing, because 1, you're not overwhelmed, and 2, it fits the story. You know, this is a very strange time where some bad stuff has seriously gone down. Moving on to the characters. I love that this game is set in South Africa. It's such an unusual setting for a video game. You don't get to see that a lot. And I think the devs are actually from South Africa as well, so that's, nice to see. Yeah, the characters, they all speak in these South African accents, which is one of the coolest accents on the planet as it is.
What's the foul brood?
Once we are bonded, host and bristleworm are inseparable. 5 years ago, this century-old synergism was threatened. If we step a foot or our bristle out of our own land, we experience the onset of an horrific pain, like our brains are boiling inside our heads.
Coupled with the kinds of crazy stuff that they're saying, it's such a good combination. It's just so amazing. You get a character who's got all the skin peeled back from her face.
Ah, my sweet. Welcome back. Are you looking to trade?
Let's see what you've got.
And she looks at you and says, oh, such beautiful cheekbones you have. We could accentuate them by removing the skin from your face. They would look so much better just with the bone showing. All kinds of bizarre, freaky, and interesting stuff.
I believe this belongs to your people.
You found it? The boss weapon?
Can't make me regret giving it to you instead of using it on you.
The death we bring down on those parasites will be spoken of for centuries to come.
It's also it's such a spectrum as well, because like I said, there's all these different religious groups and all these different sects of people. There's such a wide range of characters. You never meet two people that are alike, similar in their personality or looks, which is, again, fantastic and such an uncommon thing to see. It just keeps you interested and just draws you into the world so effectively. Okay, lastly, the story. The story is the absolute best thing, and it's tied in with the characters because that is also the best thing. It's the story of a couple of brothers who live in the somewhat near future when this, alien technology comes to Earth and changes everything. For whatever reason, they get pelted through time to the distant future where the world has fallen apart and, things are an absolute mess. And it's basically the story of them trying to solve the problems of that time and to find a way to get back home. There's some level of choice in it, not huge amounts, but there are choices. You can align with different groups because there's a lot of warring factions and you can align with one or the other, and you can also interact with your party mates, so you get a dog with you, a robot dog, and your brother, and you can help those guys out or not.
Please, Mark, do the right thing.
So yeah, that's really nice because like I said, the different factions have such completely differing beliefs and morals that it's cool to be able to choose which ones you align with more. A sign of a good story-based game is when you can, when you're actually really worried about the choices that you make. I mean, whenever there was an option for me, I was constantly just deliberating, thinking, on the one hand, what's the moral thing to do? On what is the best thing to do for the people? It's so interesting. I absolutely loved it. So to conclude, I loved Beautiful Desolation. Amazing job to the devs. Apparently it was a Kickstarter. I don't even know how I found this game. Maybe it popped up on my Steam feed or on top sellers list. I have literally no idea. I just glimpsed it and was like, oh, okay, I'll give it a go. I didn't watch any reviews, nothing. I was just like, I'll try it out. And I strongly recommend you do the same. It's not terribly expensive. It's kind of an indie game. And if you like anything with a story, go for this. If you get frustrated by point and click adventure type games, use a guide. Seriously, because even if you're going to do that, it's still worthwhile for the characters and for the storytelling and to just look at this amazingly put together world. So highly recommend it. Thank you all for listening. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I genuinely do respond to every single comment that I receive. I personally write a message in reply. Anyway, thank you all for listening. Remember to subscribe and like or whatever. See ya.
See you, bro.